The NBA Cup is hot like fire, and so are we, the late night fantasy goodies, abbreviated style. We don't have a massive slate of NBA games tonight, but we've got some good games, some juicy stuff to talk about. Rick Kamla, Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer, your boys, the OGs, Cam and Doc. And Doc, obviously, we've got a lot to get to, but before we dive in, I know you're a huge Hawks fan. I, at one point of my sports fan existence, was a Hawks fan. And I'm going to tell you something, dude. I'm an NBA fan free agent right now, and I'm thinking about hitching my wagon to these Atlanta Hawks because I'm invested with this team. I know Steve Koonin. I used to know Travis Schlenk. And I'm thinking about plugging back into this team and claiming this team as my own, dude. They're taking the league by storm right now.
I mean, they're fun now that it's not all about Trae Young. Like, there's other guys. Like, Trae doesn't have to be the man, and they're fun. Hey, Rick, have you ever heard of Bet Online?
I've heard of Bet Online. Yes, they're amazing. They sponsored this ditty that we do to bring you the late night fantasy goodies. Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. And Doc is the number one setup guy in the business. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action, the ability to watch games live as they happen, monetize your vibes as the game is going along, and put your theories, and try to make some money on them. Put your vibes, put your gut as you're watching the games, whether it be any kind of sport that you think you've got your finger on the pulse of the game and where it's going. Boom, they got you with the live betting. So they've got the largest selection of odds, everything from pro and college football, bowl season's right around the corner, NBA, college basketball, NHL, and UFC. Go to BetOnline today. Don't forget to use their promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, let's get into some Q&A here. And if you're tuning in after the live broadcast, and obviously Golden State and Houston still going right now, we're going to be answering questions here for just a little while.
GSW.
And the first question we have right here is from Trader Mendez. Agbaji or Kelly Olynyk? And we have slated in our rundown here to talk about tomorrow's game that involves Toronto, but let's just get a jump start on this, dude, because obviously we know Scotty Barnes is going to be out a long time right now. Agbaji or Kelly Olynyk? You go first.
I mean, I feel like I need to pull up the column that I wrote and posted on Sports Ethos for waiver wire pickups, because both of those guys are on it. I think if I'm going to pick one of them up today and I need steals and blocks and threes, I'm going to pick Olynyk. But at this point, honestly, how I feel, my gut says they both should be rostered in 12-team leagues.
So I agree with everything you're saying, Doc. I want to say Kelly Olynyk should be the pickup over Ochai Agbaji. But I've seen Ochai Agbaji all year in non-Scotty Barnes games having really good stat lines. And he's not like a 20-point per game guy. He's just a goodie guy. He gives you threes. He gives you blocks. He gives you steals. It'll be 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Like the PRA isn't great, but the fantasy gold is great from Ochai Agbaji. That is why I'm a fan. So Doc, Kelly Olynyk played 15 minutes in the last game. Ochai Agbaji, even in a Scotty Barnes started game, he played 23 minutes before the injury. That was against the New York Knicks. Ochai Agbaji played 32 minutes in that game. He's been a mainstay in the starting lineup. That anchor is important. It anchors the minutes. It sort of guarantees the minutes, which guarantees the goodies. Kelly Olynyk's not guaranteed for that right now, unless he enters the starting lineup. And then I'm really excited about Kelly Olynyk. But Doc, I don't know if that's been reported right now that because Ochai's been a starter and he's going to continue to be a starter. If Olynyk enters the starting five, I'd rather have him. But if he's coming off the bench and it might be 14, it might be 24, it might be 19, it might be 21, I'd rather have Ochai.
I mean, it's really a great question because we have a history with Olynyk. I feel like Agbaji is just sort of starting to scrape the surface of what he's going to do. And if we're looking at history, I know Olynyk is going to eventually start hitting a couple threes a game, getting a steal a game, getting a block or two a game, getting 15 points. Agbaji's just sort of like role player-ish, but it's close. It's really close. I'm going to go Olynyk. You're going Agbaji, and that's okay.
There's more upside with Kelly Olynyk. But like I said, I just don't know how the minutes are going to look for Kelly O. If he enters the starting five, I'd rather have Kelly O than Agbaji. So let's move on here. We've got Rain. Rain says, please help me rank these players rest of season. Bogey, Castle, Rozier, Sharp, 12-team league. Speaking of Sharp, Doc, our freaking audience is sharp. Like, how scientific is that question right there? And that is that's PhD level. It really is. I gotta put Castle number one, Doc. I'm gonna put Bogey at number two. By the way, I was playing drums before the show here, Doc. So there may be some pen tapping during the show. I apologize in advance. Rozier's last for me. So I go Castle, Bogey, Sharp, because I fear a shutdown, and then Rozier. Castle, Bogey, Sharp, Rozier. How about you?
Before I answer, can you tell me why Rozier is last on your list?
Because of the bench status with the Miami Heat. I like Terry Rozier, but I don't know. It's just I don't trust the Eric Spoelstra rotational yo-yo with him right now. The last 5 games, he's gone 17, 4, 16, 0, 14. Yeah, I mean, Castle, to me, like we talked about, sticky in the starting lineup. Bogey's Bogey. He had a bad game tonight, but I'm a fan. Sharp, I think, is going to have some good goodies here until they shut him down, and they might not shut him down. And then you've got Rozier, who's coming off the bench, and it's, a night on, night off.
All right, I'm going to start with saying I don't think Shadon Sharp is going to be shut down. There's no reason to shut him down. He's not going to help. He's like Scoot. He's not going to help them win a ton of games. He's just going to be out there chucking up shots and doing his thing. I kind of like Shadon Sharp here. I'm going to go Bogey 1. I'm going to go Sharp 2. I'm going to go Castle 3. I'm going to go Rozier 4. I think that 2 years from tonight, we're going to be sitting here talking about Stephon Castle like we talk about Dyson Daniels. We're talking about DeAndre Hunter. Like, man, these guys were available at the very end of your. Like, I think Steph Castle 2 years from now is going to be like a top 40 guy. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. So and Bogey, not a good game tonight, like you said, but he's kind of locked in to the Hawks. Like, he's a big part. He plays a big part in what they do. So I like Bogey there. And I don't think Sharp's going to be shut down. I'm going Bogey. No, I said Sharp first, didn't
I? No, you said Bogey first. At least that's what I wrote down.
Bogey, Sharp, Castle, Rozier.
All right, so let's add up the numbers here. Castle's at 4, Bogey's at 3, Sharp is at 5, and Rozier is at 8. So the consensus is Bogey 1, Castle 2, Sharp 3, and Rozier 4. All right, I don't think you can get a deeper breakdown than that, Rain, but we really appreciate the question. Hopefully our analysis and, more importantly, your decision works out. Wanderer says Monk versus PJ Washington rest of season. Doc, before you go first on this one, dude. PJ or Monk rest of season?
I mean, PJ's been kind of amazing, right? Like the Mavericks have been looking for a power forward for, I don't know, since Dirk left.
Right.
Monk started off the season like nowhere to be found, and suddenly, like, he's in the starting lineup, he's making all this noise. This is another incredible question. Geez, they both hit threes. They're both getting minutes. I'm going to go PJ Washington, but man, if you want to pick up Malik Monk instead of PJ Washington, I'm good with that. I want both of these guys on my team.
Andre, you're going to need to come in here and break this tie for Wanderer because I'm on Malik Monk. And I certainly appreciate what PJ Washington is doing. I agree with Doc that this is a phenomenal question. But when you talk about Malik Monk, Doc, if he goes back to the bench, I'd rather have PJ Washington. And I don't know what Mike Brown is going to do here. I really don't. I think I do know what he's going to do here. I think he's going to continue to start Malik Monk. Okay, over the last 5 games, here are the stat lines from Malik Monk in the starting lineup. 19. I'm going to go most recent to back, okay? Last game, not great. 16, 2, and 3, 2 threes. They actually destroyed Utah by 100 points. So, things were down. Okay, the game before that, 22, 9, and 6. Ooh, threes. The game before that, 23 points, 5 assists, 4 threes. The game before that, 17, 12 assists, 4 threes, 1 steal. The game before that, 19, 7, and 6, a block, a steal, and 5 threes. He has 18 threes in his last 5 games. Malik Monk has been one of the better fantasy players over the last 5 games. And so if he continues, he's a stud, guys. He's a complete stud. You guys know this. When given the opportunity, given the minutes, Malik Monk is going to put numbers on the board. He did it at Kentucky. He did it in Charlotte when they gave him time, and Jordan wasn't slapping him upside the head. He had a breakout year last year, the most minutes, the best role he's ever had. And now Mike Brown is plugging back into that and leaning into that. This is Malik Monk for me, Doc, and it's not close.
Oh, and I can live with that. I mean, I think I trust Monk more if he sticks in the starting lineup. And even as a 6th man, he's the 6th man of the year candidate again. Well, like I said, it's a great question. Can PJ Washington keep doing this for the Mavs? And like I said, they've been looking for this guy, this power forward, since our guy Dirk Nowitzki retired. So it's close. It's close.
Admiral Nita trade. Our boy Admiral Nita is back, Doc. He says JJJ for RJ Barrett and Alex Sarr. Is that selling high or buying high? 12-team 8 cat. Honestly, the selling high, buying high. Okay. I honestly, I don't know. I don't even know how to compute that. I'm just going to tell you which side of this one I'd rather be on. I'd rather be on the Jaren Jackson Jr. side of this. I'm going to take the best player of the triumvirate that we're talking about here. How about you, bro?
Well, I mean, we're going to agree on this one, and it's not even close. Like, Triple J is balling out this season. He needs John Morant to be healthy. He needs Desmond Bain to be there. He needs his guys to do his thing. And he's doing everything we could hope for this season. I see no reason why that's going to change. RJ Barrett scores points. He scores points. No steals, no blocks, couple threes. Triple J is all about the goodies. And Alex Sarr, he's a project, right? Like, we're waiting for next year. Not close. It's Triple J.
It is Rick Kamla. It is Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer. So the Monk versus PJ Washington. Doc was on PJ. I'm on Monk. Andre Lemouche is also on Malik Monk. So we like to have Andre break the tie here. He's a great fantasy mind. All right, let's get from Ro Claren. Hey, pros, should I offer D'Lo and Bilal for Brooke Lopez, 9-cat roto? Is that offering up too much? Brooks has been looking pretty bad the last 2 weeks. I'm going to get into some Brooke Lopez right there for that. I still, Doc, he's in a lull, but we saw earlier this year he went into a lull and then hit a hot streak. And so I don't like the roller coaster ride. I'm not really psyched about that. But I think at the end of the day, we're ultimately the season-long stat line is going to be pretty good horrific here from Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, Brolo is like your mutual fund or your Eli Lilly stock that you hold. You don't look at it every day. You just check in every now and then to see how things are going. If you look at it every single day, you're going to be like, oh my God, I've got to sell this. I've got to get it. You're calling your broker. You're like, get me out of here. That's Brooke Lopez. But over the long haul, Brooke Lopez is your guy. D'Angelo, I don't trust at all, right? Bilal Coulibaly, we're still a year too early on that dude. As good as he looked for a minute there this year, he's still Bilal Coulibaly. You want Brooke Lopez because you know he's going to hit threes. You know he's going to block shots. You know he's going to get 3 rebounds in any given game. And on some nights, he'll score 25 points.
Yeah, and Doc, we know Brooke is an availability guy, and we know the Bucks are going to be in monstrous games from now until the end of the season. They're one of the squads in the East right now, right? Vying for the top 6. They're going to be playing all the way to the end of the season for seeding, and so you don't have to worry about any of that. All right, JR says, good afternoon. I'm in a 9-cat head-to-head. It's a little bit weird. We are at 12:08 a.m. Eastern time in the Eastern time zone here in the U.S. But Jared, what up? Good afternoon, bro. He says, I'm in a 9-cat head-to-head 10-team league with the following question. I know Bain is a buy low right now. Would trading Poole or Brandon Miller be okay? I say yes to Poole. I say no to Miller.
Yep.
I'll trade away Jordan Poole for Desmond Bain. But I'm going to hold Brandon Miller right now, especially with the LaMelo Ball and the Miles Bridges thing.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Miller, this is this year, right? Like we're sort of seeing the breakout. Like it's happening before our eyes. Jordan Poole got off to a great start. He's been up here. Bain's been, down here. Is that gonna change? I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Desmond Bain that makes me think, man, I need to make a play for that guy. I got to get him on my team. I think that as much as Memphis being healthy and having everybody there helps Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm not sure it helps Desmond Bain as much. I'm going yes on Brandon Miller.
And Poole was the other guy.
I'm going no on Brandon Miller. Do not trade Brandon Miller to get Bain. Jordan Poole, I can take it or leave it. He was good. He still is good. Desmond Bain should be better. Like that one, I think is 50-50, coin toss. Hold on to Brandon Miller, man. You don't want to move that guy.
These are our peeps, man. These questions are amazing. Is this not old school NBA TV virtual Gatorade GM? You remember that you used to always bring great stuff. Most of the callers that they would bring on the show had phenomenal questions, right? Like it was very helpful stuff that launched us into cool conversations. You guys rock, man.
I brought brighter stuff 20 years ago. There's no doubt about it.
My man, Doc, the OG, FSWA Hall of Famer, Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. We are Fantasy NBA today. Pardon me. Sports Ethos After Dark. Oh, man. I worry about a Jordan Poole shutdown, dude. I'd rather have Desmond Bain for the rest of the year than Jordan Poole.
I'm concerned about that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Yes, I kind of agree with it. Like Jordan Poole might be shut down.
Bain missed the last game with a toe injury. I don't like hearing toe injury. Those tend to be weird. But with us not really.
Can you call the last 3.5 seconds of this game for us when it comes back on?
I don't have it on right now, bro.
Oh, I forgot.
Do you see behind me?
I forgot.
Watch. Let me show you. This is where my TV used to be. You see that right there?
You're squatting in a hostel right now. I forgot.
Our house went on the market. It actually goes on the market tomorrow. So we've had to like completely clean out the house. So sucks. It is what it is. I will have TV. I'll be able to do.
You're gonna make me call it.
You call it, dude.
Well, it's a timeout right now, so thank God I don't have to do anything.
When just jump in and just say, hey, Curry for the win or whatever. Just say it, man.
Well, Houston's up 91-90 right now with 3.5.
And I had for our Mo's bet, 3-pointer. For our Mo's bet, I had Houston -1.5. You had Golden State +1.5 tonight. So, and I'm already +2 Mo's burritos on you. Could I go plus? What's going on?
Parlay, baby.
Who won a parlay for you?
Andre's telling me the Rockets. This game's over. I must be on like a 5-second delay. I had Golden State +1.5. And the Hawks plus whatever. Yeah. Game over.
Dude. So you had Golden State +1.5. They lost by 1 point.
Yep. That's what they call working the wire, son.
Let's go. Let's go, dude.
Hey, Curry thinks he got fouled. He's ticked.
Oh my gosh. All right, so you win, Doc. So we are down to I'm a +1 Mo's burrito on
you. I'm comfortable with that.
Good call. On I just like that. I like that my little team that could Houston finally beat Golden State.
Dude.
And I think they snapped, what is it, a 16-game losing streak, head up with Golden State? Like those are my boys, man. Houston, let's go.
Your little team that could is doing it. They're good.
They're kind of looking OKC-ish from last year, right? Like coming from the dregs and like they're a fat tour right now.
Do we have any more questions? Or are we done?
So Doc occasionally just completely blows off keeps right there, and we just keep it moving here. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I'm always
keep this thing on a time schedule, dude. Andre's got stuff to do.
We got stuff to do, man. All right, Brandon Barassa says, would you trade Trey or Donovan straight up for him? Hell no. And he goes on 12-team, 9-10. I don't care about the machinations of your league. Brandon Barassa, thank you for listening and staying up late or early with us, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth there. But he says, would you trade Trey or Donovan straight up for Joel Embiid? That is not, dude, it's not even a hell no. It's an F no. I wish I could cuss right now.
Well, while you were on that rant, I checked my FanDuel and lost by 1.6 points this evening. Thank you.
Lame.
Whoever. No, dude. No, I'm totally with you on that. Like that is I'm not going to call it a bogus question. I just don't like it.
Kind of did.
I mean, it sort of is. I'm not doing that.
Lucas
trading Trey or Donovan for the most injured guy in the history of the league, not named Craig Oden.
Trey and Donovan, man, they're just goody guys, man. They are goody guys, dude. I'm actually in a little bit of a slump here. ATS, I'm down to 7-5 ATS on the year.
You also owe me $10 for that. So actually, our bet is all square right now.
What are you talking about? Where does $10 come into play?
I went all in with $10 whole on your ATS guaranteed Locktober in December.
That doesn't mean I owe you the money. You don't have to bet on my vibes. That doesn't mean I owe you that money.
Oh, it does. Oh, I'm coming to collect.
No, I'm +1 Mo's burrito, bro. That's what's up. All right. Lucas says, got offered PG and Norman Powell for my D. White and Mikal Bridges. Which side do you like? D. White and Mikal Bridges, Doc. Talk to me.
By far. Paul, dude, Luka. And this is not Luka Doncic, I assume. Maybe it is. What's up, Luka?
That's your boy.
You do not trust Paul George further than you can throw him, correct? Like, you can't. You
And
cannot.
I can't throw him at all. He's a big man.
My boy, Norman Powell. The only thing that's going to stop Norman Powell is Kawhi Leonard coming back. And if Kawhi Leonard comes back, then Paul George is going to play in 76 games this season. Not happening. Kawhi Leonard feels bad for letting his team down this season. Not over the last 2 months, this season. No, I am out on Kawhi. I'm out on Paul George. I love Norman Powell, but Derek White and Mikal Bridges are, first of all, Mikal Bridges may play in like 90 games this season, depending on how many times he gets traded, right? When was the last time you saw Derek White listed as questionable or day to day, week to week? Dude plays every night, man. Derek White is a baller. So is Mikal Bridges this year, especially after that big game he had. Now, it's Derek White and Mikal Bridges. Don't overthink it.
You just triggered a thought with me about Bridges, and we know that he's played every game going back to high school and all this crazy AC Green, Cal Ripken Jr. longevity stuff. And I was like, does he lead the league in minutes this year? Because, of course, Tibbs, and we love this in fantasy, just runs this guy. He does. Mikal Bridges right now, 38.3 minutes per game. And back in the day, like the Jordans, the Malones, like those were the minutes that they played. But that's rare for today's NBA to play that much. So, Doc, I want to, before we get to the Magic Man, everybody, are you enjoying the show? Hopefully. I mean, it's skits and bits. It's the fantasy goodies. We talk reality as well. I really can't think of a better basketball show for you to possibly watch. Perhaps, like, I think we're giving Inside the NBA a serious run for their money. All right, so leave us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. If you're listening on the podcast feed, make sure you're subscribed and you leave a 5-star review. Doc, we had 2 games here tonight. We had Golden State and Houston. We had Atlanta and New York. Who's your Magic Man of the night?
Dude, there's no 30-point scores, right? There's nothing big out there. You know what? I'm going to go, as I tend to do, I'm going to go low-key here. I'm going Jalen Johnson. What do you have? 21 points, 15 boards. 21 and 15 for Jalen. He played 41 minutes. He had a 3. He had 7 assists. He had 2 steals. He had 2 blocks. The Hawks won at New York. The thing I love about Jalen is he has so quietly become the face of the Atlanta Hawks. It's not Trae Young's team. It's Jalen's team. And the reason that they're so good is not because of Trae. It's because of Jalen. Like, Trae is a great setup guy for Jalen. He's a great setup guy for Clint Capella. He's a great setup guy for Dyson Daniels. Jalen Johnson is everything the Hawks needed. And he's a baller, dude. He's a baller. And Jalen Johnson, Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, and DeAndre Hunter, and maybe Bogey, you add all that together, and you have one of the most entertaining teams in the league to root for and watch right now. And if you're a free agent, Rick, I think you might be getting that Hawks hat for Christmas.
I have a Trae Young jersey. There is some fandom in me. I've been to a million Hawks games. Obviously embellishment, but John Steinberg's my guy, Garen Narain's my guy. I know people with the team. And so I think I'm going to plug back into the squad, dude, because I've got the fantasy but I've been sort of the Hawks were weird there, dude. It was, and by the way, you know what kind of lost me a little bit is the meanness of not mean, the me-ness of Trae Young. It turned me off the last couple of years, dude. It really did. But now this new, I just want a win version of Trae Young. Because, dude, we go back, 25 years, Doc. You know what a huge Trae Young fan I was at Oklahoma. I freaking love this dude. I'm a Trae Young guy. I've never said, oh, the Mavs screwed up the Luka Doncic Trae Young trade, but I have defended the Hawks for making the trade. And did they lose the trade? They lost the trade, Doc, but they did not get blown out. Trae Young is a future Hall of Famer. He is going, Doc, if Trae Young stays healthy and plays into his deep 30s, he will be in the top 5 in assists in NBA history. He'll be up there with Kidd and Paul and Magic Johnson and all these dudes, man. He's a phenomenal player. So I'm excited about the Hawks too. I have a question for you, okay? And I want you to know that this is all respect to you, bro. Because what you said about Jalen Johnson's the face of the team, and he's now the guy and stuff like that. I don't disagree with you. I got a probe though. Is that your opinion, or is that representative of the majority vibe of Atlanta Hawks fans? Is your fan base right now Jalen's the guy, Trae's number 2, or is that just your opinion?
That's a great question. I was driving down the highway today to Forsyth County, Georgia, and I saw a billboard, and it said dunks are more fun when you're there. And it was Jalen Johnson rocking the rim. It was not Trae Young. And the me-ness of Trae Young over the last 5 years has worn all of us down. Rathman, myself, Dominique. I'm speaking for those guys. But if Bob was here right now and he's a friend of the show, I could probably text him right now and he'd hop on. He'd be like, yeah, he'd be like, yeah, it kind of wore me out. Trae was playing hero ball.
Right.
And we've seen enough hero ball. Steph Curry, from his greatness, kind of messed up the NBA because everybody wants to shoot it from the logo now, right? Not Jalen Johnson, not the Oklahoma City Thunder, not the teams that are the up and coming good teams. So I don't think it's just my opinion. And 2 years ago there was a lot of radio chatter in Atlanta. Oh, Trae Young, nobody likes Trae Young. None of his teammates like him. He gets coaches fired. He's not happy. He doesn't look happy when he plays. He's just out there shooting from the logo. No, man. Trae will be a much more beloved figure if he doesn't have to carry the team. You're muted.
It's muted. Doc, that's a great answer. Doc, you know me, dude. I'm all about the gold ball. Okay. I'm all about the fantasy goodies. But when we go to the other side and we talk reality, I'm all about the gold ball. What are you doing? Zion Williamson is not connecting the dots to a gold ball. Ja Morant is not connecting the dots to a gold ball. Tyrese Halliburton is not connecting the dots to a gold ball. You need to come in. Luka Doncic is not connecting the dots to a gold ball. He's not. Okay.
He got to the end last year.
I know. Okay. I watched it. You watched
it.
They may
be in the finals this year.
Bro, when he got to that stage, he was exposed as flabby, out of shape, not serious enough, not clutch enough, not badass enough. And so can he acquire all of those things? Hell yeah, he can. But there was a clear, intangible blowout, Boston versus Dallas. And it was because, dude, in the most critical game of the year, he picks up his 6th foul with 4 minutes to go in the game. Bro, you have to be smarter than that. You can't, like, go get that chip, bro. And so my hope, Doc, is that Luka Doncic completely tricking off an NBA Finals is going to, that he's going to process that, take it back to the lab and come back the next time and be that warrior, be that absolute assassin. But he didn't take it seriously enough, bro. He wasn't ready for that moment.
We could talk about this literally for like 2 hours. But if Luka had the same teams that Trae Young had for the last 3 years, they would have been really, really freaking good. Like, the fact that the Hawks traded Luka to get Trae Young still absolutely boggles my mind. And you're right. I mean, the Mavericks were way outmatched against Boston last year. They just were. Look at who Luka's playing with. Luka has made PJ Washington a semi-superstar. Like, dude, I can't do it.
All right, dude. All right. Good conversation, man.
You broke me.
The debates within the debates. We love these tangents. All right. My Magic Man tonight, Doc, is Alpi Şengün of the Houston Rockets. Doc is right. There's not really any obvious Magic Man tonight. Like, oh my God, this stat line, right? Alpi Şengün had a really good stat line. Okay. 26, 11, and 5, 3 steals, and shot 10 of 18 from the floor. But Doc, Houston finally broke through. I do like at times, to get a little editorial on it and combine a little reality, like maybe take a syringe and shoot a little reality into my Magic Man take, right? I like to go with winners. And it was such a huge breakthrough win for the Houston Rockets. And Alpi Şengün had an all-star line. And I believe his previous game was kind of a dud. Against the previous 2 games against Golden State this year, Doc, were duds. And so tonight, that's an Alpi Şengün all-star line. So he's my Magic Man of the night. All right, let's move on to Hawks and Knicks. We've obviously talked a lot about the Hawks. Let me try to find some different angles here. Okay. So the Hawks are moving on to Las Vegas for the Final Four of the NBA Cup. This is very exciting stuff for Nation. They're going to face the top-seeded Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday in a semifinal matchup. Ooh la la. The Atlanta Hawks are 2-0 against the New York Knicks this year. Sorry, Knicks fans. Trae Young taking a bow. Doc, I did a little study here for our program on the best 8s in the NBA. The Hawks 8 is Reece Shea and Jalen Johnson, Clint Capella, Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Bogey Bogdanovic, Onyeka Okongwu, and DeAndre Hunter. Is that the best 8?
They're the only 8. That is the Hawks right there. You just said.
Yeah, so exactly. Is that the best 8 in the NBA?
No.
There's only 24 hours in the day, so I didn't have the opportunity to put scuba gear on and really grab. I just kind of vibed it out, okay? I went through all of my spreadsheets and all of my roster grids, and I came up with Boston, and I'm not going to, name every player, okay? I went Boston. These are the teams in the running for the best 8 in the NBA. And to me, this is a really good indication of the core contenders because you got to have a crew to go 2 months in the playoffs and win 16 playoff games. You got to have a crew. You can't have 4 guys. You got to have 8 guys. All right.
I think when you said Boston, you meant Oklahoma City.
No, I mean, there's no particular order to this. Okay. I just went through the standings east down to west. And so these are the best 8s in the NBA. Boston, Golden State, Atlanta. Okay. Clearly Houston, Indiana, when healthy, like Nesmith is out right now, but on paper, okay, and I'm talking on paper here. I'm not talking about who's available right now. I'm looking overall, helicopter looking down, best 8s on roster in the league. Boston, Atlanta, Golden State, Houston, Indiana, Minnesota, New York, OKC, Orlando, Phoenix, and San Antonio. That's 11 teams. All right. And another point here, Doc, I want to make. When you talk about the Hawks 3-pack off the bench of Okongwu, Hunter, and Bogey, that might be the best 3-pack of bench players for any team. Think about Boston. They hit you with Horford, Pritchard, and Hauser. Who would you rather have coming off your bench? Horford, Pritchard, and Hauser, or Okongwu, Hunter, and Bogey? It's extremely debatable, okay? So, dude, I'm having fun talking about the Hawks, Doc, and I haven't been on Twitter. Like, I've tweeted out stuff about our show. We want you guys to watch and that kind of thing. Like, I don't know if the Hawks are going viral. I don't know if everybody's squawking about the Hawks here, but damn it, they're about the coolest thing going in the NBA right now, Doc, for real.
I mean, I still like Oklahoma City a little bit better, but yeah. Here's the thing. Like, Boston has Kristaps Porzingis plays every other game when healthy. Al Horford plays every other game. We
told him that, Doc. Didn't we tell the people he ain't going to play very much this year?
Al Horford, you cannot rely on him. He's going to sit every other game in back-to-backs and whatnot. But generally speaking, like, Al Horford is basically our age, right? Like, he's an old man. He's the old, trustworthy veteran that's going to come in and get his 12 points, 2 blocks, 2 threes, a steal, and 7 boards. That's just what he does. Onyeka Okongwu, when Clint Capella gets out of the way, if it ever happens, is going to go off. The whole key to this Atlanta Hawks team, and I'm jumping from topic to topic, is DeAndre Hunter. Like, this is the guy they drafted. This is the guy that we've watched for 4 years not do anything. And suddenly he makes all his 3-point shots. He makes a majority of his shots in general. He scores. He does other stuff. He didn't do anything else tonight. But DeAndre Hunter has been everything the Hawks wanted him to be when they drafted him. And I feel like they were this close to giving up on him. And now they're like, wait a second. This guy can help us win. Like, they have the pieces. Like, Risa Shea is the only hole in their armor right now. Like, if they had, say, a PJ Washington or a Mikal Bridges in that spot where we've got Zachary Shea, they would be scary good. And they kind of are scary good. Like, I don't think anybody's going to want to play Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels in an NBA playoff series.
Bro, both of their centers had double-doubles tonight. Who does that? Think about it. Capella had a dub-dub. Okongwu had a dub-dub. Who has both of their – look, Nurkic and Plumlee don't both go dub-dub down in Phoenix, dude.
Trey had a double-double. Jalen had a double-double. That's 4 double-doubles on one team, 2 centers, 1 coming off the bench. Like, that's crazy. And if all those other guys weren't double-doubling, DeAndre Hunter would have probably had one. He scored 24 points. His boys were all picking up all the loose boards.
DeAndre's not really a goody guy, bro. He puts the ball in the hole. Like, he's not really a goody guy. I like his efficiency's crazy this year, but he's not really a goody guy.
He's not a goody guy. I'm not talking about fantasy. As far just as
right.
DeAndre Hunter, thank you for coming to play. Like, this is the year. We have not seen this DeAndre Hunter outside of a couple like 2-game streaks his whole career. And suddenly, like, he's exactly what this team needs, man.
Doc, let me give you quickly here. DeAndre, what really stands out about DeAndre Hunter to me is, beyond the consistency, is the minutes per game, points per game ratio. It's phenomenal. Check this out. After tonight's another 20-plus point game from DeAndre Ayton, which he seemingly does every night off the bench. He's at 19.6 points in 27.8 minutes. Folks, Doc's done this for 30 years-ish. I've done this for 30, 40 years-ish. Okay, we're goats around here. That's as good as it gets. The Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants in heaven are going, God dang, bro. That's insanity. 20 points in 28 minutes, if you do the rounding, is phenomenal. It's insanity. All right, Doc, let's move on here.
Hey, real quick, I want to apologize to DeAndre Hunter because you just called him DeAndre Ayton.
Did I just do that?
Much like I called PJ Washington PJ Thompson last night.
All right, I just screwed that up. My bad, yo.
My
bad. Hey,
dude, I mix names up all the time.
I do. I try not to. But we gotta clean it up when we do. I do want to make just one more point here, Doc. Okay, because we're on the Hawks, and obviously we're going to be on the air tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a little look ahead on the Hawks. I don't know what the rundown has in store yet, but I want to give a shout out to my guy Travis Schlenk. He's not my boy, okay, but I interviewed him a whole bunch when I was on the home of the Hawks 92.9 The Game in Atlanta. Really nice man, really, really bright man, super intelligent, one of these human computer type guys, right? And dude, Travis Schlenk is a stud talent evaluator, and he's not a number one GM right now. He's with last I checked, he was with Michael Winger, the shot caller in Washington, as an advisor and something like that. And I promise you that Michael Winger is like, Travis, who do you like in this draft? Who do you like? Okay, cool. He plucked Herter late first round. He plucked John Collins late first round. His owner, Tony Ressler, made him trade Luka Doncic to Dallas for Trae Young. That was not a Travis Schlenk joint. That was a Ressler family joint. And no matter what the Ressler family says, I believe that, okay? And he got Jalen Johnson, Doc. Travis Schlenk drafted Jalen Johnson, who did nothing at Duke, 19th. I don't want Jalen Johnson's 19th in basketball monster value right now. And I think he might have been the 19th pick in his draft. But I just wanted to shout out Travis Schlenk, man. He did a phenomenal job building these Atlanta Hawks, and now they're reaping the benefits as he is now not even a shot caller in the league. And God bless Landry Fields, the new shot caller of the team. I'm not mad at him. It wasn't his decision. But I don't know why they blew out Travis Schlenk. I really don't. The guy is a proven monster at talent evaluation, and he comes from the Golden State dynastic program. Okay, it's not like. Go ahead.
Just like to shout out John Collins for being rated higher than Trae Young in fantasy. Yeah, and it's funny. I was talking to a guy today at Johnny B's, and he goes, Trae's doing better than Luka. I'm like, are you insane? So I pulled up like fantasy stats, right? And I'm showing it to this guy. He's like 70 years old, and I act like that's old. I'm pretty old. But I'm like, these are fantasy stats. He's like, well, that means they're not real. I'm like, no, these are their real stats. Like, fantasy has come so far that I can pull up the rankings and be like, no, Luka's 7. Trae is 57. Like, that's a huge difference. But I'm just glad the Hawks are good. I'm glad they're fun. I'm glad my boy Bob Rathman and Dominique, like my guys. I got Dominique's shoe right there. Bob Rathman's on the show all the time. Those guys are having so much fun, and I'm super happy for them.
Jalen Johnson, by the way, 20th pick in the draft. That was off by 1. He's 19th in basketball monster value, 20th pick in his draft. So Houston beats Golden State tonight, guys. Big win for the Rocks, My little team that could, 16-8, they are. Golden State falls to 14-9, but Houston did not cover. I played them -1.5. So I'm now 7-5 ATS. I'm +1 Moe's Burritos on Doc as we clash head-to-head with that.
Where is Jalen Johnson going in drafts next year?
I mean, second round. Are you looking for me to make a grandiose first-round statement right now? I can't go there. He's a second-round pick right now.
Dude, I think by the time this is over, if he stays healthy, we're looking at like 10 and 11. You're deciding between Jason Tatum and Jalen Johnson. I'm taking Jalen. I'm serious.
Now, I just feel like I need to come in here and take up for Jason Tatum, who right now is 9th on Basketball Monster. And I understand that Jalen Johnson's 19th, and he's a freaking beast. We all love him. But Jason Tatum's got him by 9 slots right now. Tatum's rocking 28, 9, and 6. Oh, my God. He's at 1.2 steals, 3.8 threes. Come on, we can't sleep on this stat line from Tatum, bro.
Dude, he had to do something to make up for all the MVP diss last year. Like he's on a revenge tour. Jalen Johnson doesn't even know what revenge is. He's just trying to fit in.
He's on the ascent. Jason Tatum is like double middle fingers to the world. How dare you disrespect me and not let me enjoy my championship? Because he got sobered up real quick by your boy, Steve Kerr, who now, when coaches have shitty rotations, I actually root against them. And it's not about their team, their city, the players on their team. I literally root against the coach because I want their issue rotation to lead to losses, not wins, to prove us right that your rotation freaking sucks, okay? So, and I do overall, at 37,000 feet from the 747, I do like Steve Kerr, but his rotations to me, since the dynasty is sort of dilapidated, his rotations suck, okay? And so let's start with Houston here, Doc. We talked about Alpi Şengün. We have a bunch of really small, flat lines here. Jabari Smith had a good game. Van Vliet had 8, okay? Terrible line. Jalen Green, 12 on 5 of 15. Dylan Brooks didn't have a fantasy line. Amen Thompson had 10, 5, and 3 off the bench. This game, frankly, sucked overall. It was 91-90. Houston over Golden State in a Jeff Van Gundy, Pat Riley, Hubie Brown, sort of East Coast Mafia coaching special here. If I didn't say Larry Brown, let me throw him in there as well. As Houston shoots 46%, Golden State shoots, what did they shoot in this game? Wow, on the box score, I'm only getting the Golden State side. ESPN, that's weird. Anyway, Doc, we've talked, a lot about this game. So anything else you want to say about Houston over Golden State by 1?
Did you ever go to CVS Pharmacy like 2 or 3 years ago, right in the middle of COVID? And you would get a receipt that was like almost as tall as you were, right? It just kept printing and printing and printing. The girl finally rips it off and hands it to you. She's like, "Here, do you want your receipt?" I'm like, "No, why would I want all that shit in my car?" When I look at Golden State's box score, I feel like I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to the bottom because he's literally playing everyone. This was a 1-point game. Pat Spencer, 3 minutes. Cameron Parker got in the game. Kyle Anderson got 4 minutes. Your boy Trace, 15 minutes. Lindy Waters, 23 minutes. Like, it just goes on and on. It just never stops, and it drives me nuts. And your point about Steve Kerr kind of being a jerk to Jason Tatum and kind of giving an FU to the Celtics and maybe trying to get it in their heads a little bit, it carries over. And it makes me not want to root for Steve Kerr. You're muted.
We are in concert on that. So, folks, we want you to join the Sports Ethos Discord link in the show notes. We're going to answer questions tomorrow night. Our show is going to start at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So let's get into Thursday night previews. And Doc, we have Pistons at Celtics. This takes me back to last year when the Pistons were in their long losing streak and they took Boston to overtime and ultimately lost. And then I think lost like 2 or 3 more games and tied the streak for the longest losing streak in NBA history. Let's start with streamers, Doc. And to me, Malik Beasley is the streamer here. I don't trust Isaiah Stewart, who's the second half of the central rotation right now with Jalen Duren. I don't trust Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, I'll just say it this way. Malik Beasley is just playing better. They're very, very similar players. And Beasley's just playing at a higher level with the points, the efficiency, and the 3 balls. And Oscar Thompson just isn't playing enough for me. So do you have a streamer from this game? Pistons at Celtics.
First of all, I can't handle any more of these 2 or 3 game nights. I need my NBA back.
Me too, bro.
I love the tournament, but we're paying a price for the tournament. And that price is a 1-game week from all my players in all my fantasy leagues, because all my players are on the Clippers or the friggin' whoever. And so this is more like a traditional old school Thursday night when there was only 2 or 3 games. Now it's like Thursdays are 8 games. Totally different. Peyton Pritchard, I think, is only rostered in like 15% of fantasy leagues. Criminal. Peyton Pritchard should be owned everywhere. That's all I got.
Peyton Pritchard, I think I saw on Yahoo was at like 44 in season value. Let me go to Basketball Monster here. I bet he's in the 40s or 50s. Where's our boy Pritchard? He's at 58 on Basketball Monster. 16 points, 3.7 threes, 3 and 3 in the rebounds and assists, 1 steal per game, 49% from the field, 84 from the line. And it doesn't matter because we do 3 balls in fantasy by the volume of them, not the efficiency of them. But he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league in terms of percentage. And Peyton Pritchard, Doc, the team is back to full strength. I definitely think he's still a rosterable guy and a playable guy. Like if your team is just badass, like maybe he's a bench player on your team, but he should be on a team. Over the last week, the numbers have dipped a little bit down to 13.7 points, 3.7 threes. But to me, that's still a goodie line, and still you need to hang in there with it. Shout out to Kate Cunningham and JB Bickerstaff for the resurrection, so to speak, of the Detroit Pistons. They're a half game out of 8th place right now, folks. The Pistons are no longer tanking. They're a half game out of 8th place right now. Cade Cunningham is a walking triple-double, the guy that I thought he would be coming out of Oklahoma State when I comped him to former Pistons great Grant Hill. JB Bickerstaff is not a Coach of the Year candidate, okay? That's, guys at the top of the league here, but he's done a phenomenal job with this squad. And Cade Cunningham, I think, deserves major all-star consideration with all the triple-doubles that he's put up. Doc, let's shift over here to Raptors and Heat. And Scotty Barnes is going to be out several weeks. How does that hit you? And kind of take us into last night's conversation. Now that we know that Scotty Barnes is out several weeks, how are you treating this in fantasy?
I'm a fake doctor, right? I play one on the internet talking about fantasy, not real basketball. Okay? You're not a doctor. Neither one of us are the smartest guys in the room. That would be Andre. Yet, how do we know the night that Scotty Barnes got hurt that this was done? Oh, he turned his ankle. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. That's not what this is. He got hurt. We knew he got hurt. We saw him get hurt. Don't play us, bro. We're not that stupid. We're sort of stupid. We're not that stupid. I just don't understand how Toronto could be like, oh, we'll see how it feels tomorrow. He should be good. No, he's not. So it annoys me. It frustrates me. I have a lot of shares of Scotty Barnes. I love Scotty Barnes. Phenomenal year. Davion Mitchell. Dude, I'd love to jump on the Davion bandwagon, but my goodness, every time he's gotten a break and an opportunity to do something, he just never does it. Like Eric Snow back there. And I can't get on board with that. RJ Barrett, gonna go crazy. Grady Dick, gonna be very good. Ochai Agbaji, gonna be pretty good. Jakob Pertl, double machine. Kelly Olynyk is coming on. I think the guy that we might see, we're going to see many small explosions from Jacoby Walter, as our producer Andre Lamouche once told me. Jacoby Walter looks like a basketball player. That's the guy I'm kind of most excited to see step up with this injury to Scotty Barnes.
So earlier in the show, we talked a little bit about this. I'm on Ochai Agbaji. Like, that's where Scotty Barnes out. Okay, that's where I'm going. If Kelly Olynyk starts the next game, if they go with a twin tower look with Olynyk and Jakob Pertl, then Olynyk is a must add, because Olynyk is a proven better goodie guy than Ochai Agbaji. I remember Kelly Olynyk was traded to the Houston Rockets, and so I think it was from Miami. I forget all this stuff, but the back half of that year, like, there was a little 2-month stretch. He was league winner status. It was like 18, 7, and 4 with a block and a steal and like 1.9 threes. I'm kind of making it up as I go here, but it was a goodie line like that. He was fan-freaking-tastic in the second half of the season. And so keep that in mind, okay? So watch tomorrow night, okay? And if you can't watch tomorrow night, look at the box score and see where's Olynyk. Oh, wow, starting. Wow, he had 18 and 10 with 3 assists, a block and a steal, and 3 threes. Get him, okay? Because Barnes is going to miss a bunch of time here. Let's talk Jimmy Butler. Doc, this is a huge story in the NBA right now. Shams Charania has reported that Dallas, Houston, Golden State, and Phoenix are the preferred destinations for Jimmy Butler. So it's on, popping, okay? The divorce is on. Kind of like me with my soon-to-be ex down here in Florida, all right? And so far it's amicable. Hopefully it continues to be so. I'm not sure this is going to be an amicable split between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler. Okay, so we're talking Dallas here. I don't see Jimmy Butler as a fit on Dallas. I just don't. Okay, Houston. Okay, maybe. Golden State and Phoenix. And the headline is Phoenix. All right, for what? Probably because of Kevin Durant. I just want to say this, Doc, and I'll send it over to you. To me, Golden State makes the most sense for Jimmy Butler. Okay. They need a number 2. They reportedly, as an organization, want a number 2 with Steph Curry. I think Jimmy Butler would be a really good complement to Steph Curry with the defense he brings, the dog he brings, all the glue guy stuff that he brings. But for Miami and Pat Riley, I think Houston makes the most sense, because we're talking about maybe an Amen Thompson. We're talking about maybe a Tari Eason. We're talking about maybe, in addition to one of those guys, maybe a little Cam Whitmore, okay? Like, if I'm Pat Riley, if I can get Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore for Jimmy Butler, and I know the money doesn't fit, but I'm just saying, like, I'm all about that, bro, because these are hard-ass players going to the Miami Heat program. To me, that's a total win. So, to me, Golden State makes the most sense for Jimmy. Houston makes the most sense for Pat Riley.
Did you think that Kyrie Irving was a good fit for the Mavericks when he went there?
I did, because of what they paid him. Well, hold on a second. In theory, I did. And then we saw it, right? And he and Luka were clumsy late in games, and they weren't winning games and stuff like that. And I'll make this quick, Doc, because I want to get back to you. Here's when I was like, this Kyrie and Dallas thing is going to fit. And it was before last year. We got to go back to the summer of 2023, Doc. when Dallas overpaid to get Kyrie Irving. Nobody in the league was going to pay him $40 million a year. Dallas did. They loved on him, and they got a huge year out of Kyrie Irving. Go.
What did Kyrie need? You just said it. He needed love. He got it. What do you think Jimmy Butler needs? He needs some love, dude. You hate on him. I hate on him.
Pat Riley hates on him.
Pat Riley hates on him. Eric Spoelstra probably hates on him. Who's the center they had for you? Udonis Haslem hates on him. Like, everybody hates on Jimmy. Dude, what if Dallas had healthy Jimmy to go with Kyrie and Luka and PJ and those centers? When Kyrie went to Dallas, I was like, this makes no sense to me. They have a point guard. They don't need Kyrie, but it's been a match made in heaven. They all love each other. Everything's going so well. Maybe they bring Jimmy in, it messes it all up, F's it all up, whatever. But what if they paid Jimmy, they made Jimmy happy? I don't know, man. I think you're right. I think Golden State makes the most sense. And I never thought I could be a Kyrie Irving guy. I never thought I could root for Kyrie Irving in my life. He comes to Dallas. He's been a model citizen, and I love him. I will fight for Kyrie. I love it. And if you bring Jimmy in to do the same thing with that dude, Dallas is going to be hard to beat.
Here's the other reason why I like Kyrie to Dallas, Doc, when the trade happened, and then obviously all of the clumsiness ensued. But I want to go previous to that. Dallas screwed up big time with Jalen Brunson, bro, right? And so to me, you had to roll the dice and swing for the fences and just go for it. Like, they were in talent acquisition mode. Okay, we're going to go get the most savage talent that we can. Is it going to work with Luka? We don't freaking know. But we got to at least explore this, because Brunson did fit with Luka, and they lowballed him and frankly disrespected him that year before he signed with New York, before he left, going back and forth. And Brunson was ready to sign for 4 years and $52 million, according to him. And Dallas didn't want to give him the contract at the time. Like, what a stupid ass decision that was, right? Dallas should still have Jalen Brunson on a 4 and 52, and they let him walk. So they had to go get a Kyrie Irving to just get that talent back. And again, I want to, just for a new audience here, if you guys didn't watch us last night, I've got the Cam 3-banger here with the Jimmy Butler trade. Jimmy Butler goes to Golden State, Andrew Wiggins goes to the New Orleans Pelicans, and Brandon Ingram goes to the Miami Heat. Again, it could be to Houston for the guys we talked about, but there could be a lot of different things here. So that's the trade that I gave you last night. Butler to GSW, Wiggins to New Orleans, and Ingram to Miami. I would not be surprised if that one went down. Doc, let's move to Kings and Pelicans here.
Real
and
quick,
I want
Rick, if you told me, hey man, the Heat are going to get rid of Jimmy Butler and to bring in Brandon Ingram, I'd be like, why?
Here's why.
I mean,
because
Brandon Ingram is a hangnail away from missing an entire season.
2 reasons. One, we have to get Jimmy out of here. He's now a cancer. And I want to linger on that, okay? So that's why you would maybe just say, F it, we got to take what we can get to get this dude out of here. 2, maybe, just maybe, and I don't think this is reality, Doc, okay, but maybe, just maybe, Miami looks at Brandon Ingram and looks at number 2 overall pick. He was an all-star. He was the most improved player. He's a proven scorer in this league. And they forget about all the missed games and all the missed shots in the clutch. But I get your point. I would not be excited about Brandon Ingram to Miami. I wouldn't be like, ooh, I'm now looking at Miami differently. I would look at Miami like, yo, you should have gone to get Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore.
It would make me think exactly about the Miami Heat as I do right now. No different. I don't want to watch him. I'm not going to support him.
You're sound asleep on him, right? Aren't you?
Go Tyler Hero. He's the only one I literally care about. I don't care about any of them.
Not even Bam?
No. A little bit. Pat Riley. Pat Riley's GOAT. Like, he's up on the wall, Magic Johnson, all that. Like, I love Pat Riley.
Me too.
But Tyler Hero is the only member of the Miami Heat that I care about.
Not mad at you, bro. So, all right, Kings and Pelicans. I want to make a point about Kevin Huerter. He's a really, really good streamer for you guys tomorrow night. All right, 8% rostered in Yahoo leagues. Over the last 4 games, Kevin Huerter is at the point flow, game to game, 13, 6, 16, 26. The minutes in that 4-game span are between 22 and 25. That's major efficiency, okay? And he's got 13 3-balls over his last 4 games. Give me a streamer from this one, maybe on the King side, and if you want to go to the Pelican side, hit us, man. What you got?
Can you, without looking, tell me what the Pelicans' record is?
I must admit, obviously you prep for the show, I prep for the show. I looked at the standings before the show, and I saw 5-20.
Well, there you have it. That is
5-20. 5-20 for the Pels, bro.
This is what happens when you have injured stars. Has anyone seen Zion Williamson since he appeared in that AI video where he was clearly like not himself? Like, he was the skinniest guy on the court. It's all bogus. They don't have a center. Yves Missi is their only center of record, literally. When does DeJounte get shut down? When does CJ get shut down? Trey Murphy's kind of injury prone, in my opinion. When does he get shut down? Herb Jones just came back. Do we really want to risk him running out there when we're trying to get Cooper Flag ping pong balls? You know who the winner is? Brandon Boston. What did your boys say about Brandon Boston?
Oh, Zion called him a certified bucket.
Certified bucket. Brandon Boston. I think Brandon Boston, given the state of this disaster that is happening with the Pelicans, is a must roster player. I'd rather have Brandon Boston than any of the guys on Toronto. And for tomorrow night as well.
Brandon Boston had a good game in his last game. He had 17 points with 3 threes off the bench. The minutes were pretty good. He's their 6th man right now. He's sort of the Trey Murphy with a healthy group, right? And so he's kind of moved into that Trey Murphy role, which is a decent goodie role. Yves Missi is balling out, folks. He's 35% rostered. He's 35% rostered in Yahoo leagues. In his last game, he had 18, 14 with 2 blocks. He's absolutely killing it. And so Brandon Ingram is probably going to be traded, right? They can't come to terms on a contract. He's in a walk year. New Orleans is bloodthirsty to trade this guy. If they do, the shutdown comes into play here as well. But to me, Trey Murphy would be the biggest beneficiary of a Brandon Ingram trade. Would you say, and I know I don't want to like double up you here. I just want to like confirm. You talked about the Cooper Flag factor. We know the Brandon Ingram factor lingers out there. Rest of season, would you rather have Brandon Boston or Trey Murphy for the Pels?
I'd rather have Trey Murphy. He's young. They're both young.
Don't you think they would play Trey Murphy even in a shutdown, like to get him that run?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't have his injury history in front of me, but
it's pretty significant, dude.
He misses games. So I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Pelicans, I'm probably protecting that guy. I'm going to play Yves Missi. I'm going to play Brandon Boston. I'm going to play there's nobody else. There's no one. What a disaster.
Dude, hey, our boy Jose Alvarado is not out for the year. He's probably going to be a really good fan. Not now. Don't go get Jose Alvarado right now, but he's probably going to be a really good fantasy pickup, bro, in about a month.
He probably is, because the way that injuries happen in New Orleans with this team and that training staff, there's no way DeJounte Murray and CJ McCollum are both still fully healthy by the All-Star break. There's no way.
Dude, it's like somebody in New Orleans was like sticking they have New Orleans Pelicans little dolls, and they're like sticking them with the voodoo pins or whatever. Like, hopefully not, but
and that's where that goes down is in New Orleans, dude. Then that's where that all came from. Like that voodoo doll stuff, man, is straight off of Bourbon Street.
Just saying, man. I'm just saying. By the way, if you go to Bourbon Street, okay, and you're partying, it's a Friday or Saturday night, don't wear good shoes. Doc, have you ever partied on a Friday or Saturday night on Bourbon Street?
Not on Bourbon Street. Other streets, yes, not on Bourbon.
So in Bourbon Street is touristy, but it's fun, right? Like, you got to do it once. You got to like do the whole bar crawl on Bourbon Street at one point. What do you got?
Just look at what Andre just posted.
I was vibing out on partying and I'm trying to give these people a warning here.
You keep going. I was just shocked by what I saw. Trey Murphy is the highest ranked player for the Pelicans. 9 cat per game. Number 43. Is this a sell high all day moment for you?
But I mean, who's buying
Trey Murphy? That's my point.
Who's like all psyched about, oh my God, I can't believe I got a trade offer for Trey Murphy. I have to do, like, nobody's experiencing it.
Maybe, Rick, but I think you're underestimating some of our viewers and some fantasy players out there, because they'll be like, well, let me look this up. Let me go to Sports Ethos and look at their season rankings, or let me go to Basketball Monster and look at their season rankings. Oh my God, he's 45. He's 43rd. I should probably get this guy. Like, just because we don't think he's 43rd doesn't mean he's not 43rd. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I understand with that, but we're paid to give you our vibes and our opinions, and that's my thing. Like, I like Trey Murphy. I don't know if he's going to finish the season. And if I got a trade offer like Trey Murphy for, I don't freaking know, Doc, Dyson Daniels. I'm holding Dyson Daniels. I mean, I could throw other guards out.
DeAndre Hunter, would you trade Trey Murphy?
I'd rather have Trey Murphy I'd rather have Trey Murphy.
Okay.
Because the 3 balls are going to be higher, the steals are going to be higher. He's just more of a goodie guy. And Trey Murphy's not a great goodie guy.
No,
like he's not a block, really a block steal guy, but I still feel like the overall stat line be a little better from Trey Murphy. And I'm still kind of waiting on DeAndre Ayton to pull something or have a foot sprain or something, Doc, because I'm just not, I don't think we're out of the woods on DeAndre Hunter just yet. Let me make this point. If you are partying on Bourbon Street, and it doesn't even need to be a Friday or Saturday night, you all need to know something, okay? You get the most random ass thought bubbles of all time from your boys, the OGs, Cam and Doc. Doc, they have cops on huge stallion horses patrolling Bourbon Street, okay? And I'm not saying that you're going to do anything nefarious that gets you in trouble with the law, okay? Party, do your thing. You can walk around Bourbon Street with a drink in your hand. It's all good. Knock yourself out, okay? Throw beads and have beads around. It's all good, okay? Here's the warning, Doc, okay? Big, gigantic stallions. Okay, what do? They take big, gigantic dumps, all right, on the street that you're walking on. All right, so if you're going to wear your hot shoes, your Jordans, okay, don't do it. I saw a guy, Doc, he was walking in front of me, and I'm glad he took the bullet and not me. He had really like fancy basketball shoes on. I think they were Jordans. He stepped in a huge pile, and that dude was pissed. And I was like, I'll just walk over here and miss that, okay? But Bourbon Street came up, a word of the wise, okay? Don't wear your finest footwear if you're partying on Bourbon Street.
I love the fact that I interrupted that with Trey Murphy's 43 overall, and you're like,
We're a bunch of dumbasses, dude.
You're
We
like-
literally are.
you're like, damn it, Doc.
We're some 50-something
I was
dumbasses
on a
right
Bourbon Street roll, bro. And you're like, and you buzzkilled it with Trey Murphy being 40. Who cares? I'm like, these people do. And then as soon as we got done with that, you're like, going back to where we were before Doc.
I mean, I had to complete the thought. I got to help these people out. These are hoop heads, Doc. What do hoop heads do? A lot of them are sneakerheads, okay?
Before Doc so rudely interrupted me.
And hoop heads like to go to New Orleans. New Orleans is a party city. People go on little mini vacations there or whatever. Watch yourself on Bourbon Street. I'm saying, don't wear your best shoes, bro.
Don't wear your Jordan 3s on Bourbon Street.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And like, you know, there's little like puke puddles and stuff because people are partying their face off. Like you gotta watch yourself on Bourbon Street, man.
Hey, Trey Murphy's 43 over the last 3 weeks. Not on the season. I think on the season he's like 63.
Anything else that you want to
Can
tell
we
the people
move
here?
on? Yes. I'm good, man. I think I'm good.
We're out of content. This is the show.
Dude, whenever you win a parlay because you had a team plus 1.5 and they lose by 1, you're having a good day.
We want you to have nothing but good days, Doc. We love you, bro. You the man. Hey, Doc, let's do this tomorrow night, a.k.a. Thursday night, a.k.a. later on today at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Sound good to you?
3 games? Maybe we can do it in less than an hour and a half. I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out in 24 hours.
Yes, we will.
Or 22 hours, I said.
There you go. A little about 22 hours. We are here. We're here to serve y'all the late night fantasy goodies. He is FSWA Hall of Famer, Dr. A. For our great producer, Andre Lemouche, I'm Rick Kamla. With a reminder, subscribe to us. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sports Ethos podcast feed and the YouTube channel. If you're watching live, leave us a thumbs up. A live show Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, or tune in for the next episode on the podcast feed tomorrow. This episode was proudly presented by Bet Online. See you soon.